see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
After 2 months. This room's aura is filled with unending tears, loneliness that will never go away. Through the window, sadness could be glimpsed. This room was shrouded in darkness. Only a tiny amount of light enters through the thick curtains. Everything was messed up. Shoes were scattered on the bed. Pillows were thrown near to the doormat. The doormat was strewn on the floor. Many shattered wine bottles, mirrors and vases littered the floor. The aroma of alcohol permeated the air. Except of a half-living body, there was nothing alive in this room. He was sitting on the floor, leaning on the bedside. Legs were spread apart. The hair was all messed up. Eyes were red like bloodshot. Because of his unbuttoned shirt, all of his sweat was visible when it crawled down. He kept sipping from the alcohol bottle he held in his right hand. His gaze was fixed on the note which he was holding in another free hand. His phone, which was also on the floor beside his lap, began to ring. He just glanced at the caller ID and shrugged before taking another sip. He received a call from his office. He didn't go there once during this entire 2 months. He seems to not even bother turning off the phone. That ringing sound was booming throughout the entire massive silent room, which was not even bothering him. Someone snapped into his room because his ringtone was too loud, not being answered. She moved slowly but cautiously towards the window and slid the curtains apart, causing him to groan as the sudden light stabbed his eyes after spending 2 months in a gloomy room. This was the cutest laugh you'd ever heard. When he saw you holding the drapes, his eyes went numb and melted. He laughed at your childishness because you were laughing like a kid who had just cracked the world's finest joke. He stepped up to the window and grabbed your wrist, pulling you into a deep hug with his broad, boxy smile that could melt anyone's heart. He fluttered a little at his place when he realized he was only hugging the curtains, not you. He felt an awful anguish in his chest, like if his heart was being squeezed by the minute. He grabbed the drapes and forcibly pulled them down in rage. Those curtains were lying down with the pole in one shot which was holding them. The sunshine slashed into the room like a sword, slaying the gloom that had been hovering in the chamber just a second before. He hides his face for a few moments before standing up straight. He closed his eyes and let the sunlight wash over him as he stood in front of the window. However, it didn't dry his tears. You are currently at your mother's house, sitting in the chair that was placed on your balcony, looking at how the sun is fading and allowing darkness to blanket the sky. It's been 2 months since you abandoned him. You are not even sure what you are feeling. You have felt hollow inside since the day you left him. You feel alive, but there is no cause or motivation to live any longer. You sit there with your arms crossed across your chest when a cool breeze blows across your cheeks and all over your body. You feel cold. Your wavy hair was blowing in a sync with a slow, cool breeze. Some of the strands landed on your face, but you didn't bother to pull them back. silent tears began to fall down your cheeks. As you sobbed, you pondered whether you had made the correct decision or not. You have not called him since then. This is not due to a feeling that you didn't want to see him. This is due to the fact that you cannot see him with anybody else. How can anyone stand on this? What was even more surprising to you was that he made no attempts to approach you, not even at a single time. And this is exactly what you thought, completely oblivious to reality, that he watches over you from a distance, but he has not gone a single day without capturing his vision with your presence since the day you left him. He was still there, leaning against the closed door of his car. He put his hands in his pocket, sleeves were rolled up. The gaze was fixed on you without even blinking for a second, as a thought you could vanish if he even blinks once. His eyes have never felt so privileged as they do after seeing you. He knew how much you like watching the sunset. An unknowing smile always appeared on your face as you gazed out the window, and he was desperate to see it. He yearned to see that same grin on your face. He assumed you were happy now because you got what you wanted. He expected you to be happy after leaving him since that is what you desired. He never leaves till you get back in. Those 15 to 20 minutes were like a boost of energy for him to get through the next 24 hours till he saw you again. It seems that he is waking up to see you and then sleeping again, hoping to see you again the next day. This is the one moment he does not consume the alcohol. He never drank a drop of alcohol because he wanted to remember this. He does not wish to forget. At this point, all he wants to do is do something to stop the clock. It suddenly began to rain, but he didn't even move 1 inch from that spot. He made no attempt to conceal himself. Raindrops were going into his eyes through his eyelashes. His clothes started getting wet when the rain went across the entire body, but he didn't mind. He didn't move from there till you went in, and this goes on every day. He was dozing off like a baby in his sleep. He heard some murmuring. He adjusted his pupils from side to side before gently opening them as he felt a cute agony in his brain from the hefty dose of he took the night before. As he crumpled and slowly opened his eyes, his mouth twisted into a smile when his gaze was drawn to you who was sitting near to him. He jolted you a little since you were laughing so hard you were not ready to stop when his breath caught and he gasped loudly in shock. His hands were left alone in the air. His eyes widened. He shivered as he slowly turned his palm to face him. Tears began to fall down his cheeks. He sat helplessly back when he realized you had not been there since the beginning. He felt a sorrow in his heart. It was only him and his imagination. He slowly shifted his gaze across the room only to find himself alone. It was the same disheveled room. He took a slow look at his feet, which got numerous cuts as he ran around on the shattered glasses without even realizing it, just to chase his hallucination. The blood smear was all over the floor wherever he stepped. He slowly got up and fell over his stomach after walking 4 to 5 steps because of the bounded feet and the excessive alcohol effect. He did not even try to get up this time. It seems that his body was not ready to support him. As he slowly closed his eyes, a tear trickled down from one eye to other. Stella, his cook, was knocking on the door waiting for him to respond. Stella noticed that the door was not locked from the inside after several attempts. With the fear of his boss, he gently opened it. If someone enters his room without his consent, she is well aware of his rage. She walked in and discovered the identical mess she had cleaned a week before. She cleans his room whenever she has a chance to do so. He doesn't want anyone in his room when he's in it, so she cleaned it after he left. He constantly went out in the evening, but after he came to his senses and got out of those effects, he started chattering and throwing things around again. She walked in and could not find him anywhere. Her eyes widened when she his pupils start moving left to right and a loud groan escaped from his mouth as a result of acute agony in his head after sleeping for more than 2 days. He gently opened his eyes for a few moments. He could not see properly when his gaze was drawn to the long, strong body. He asked his manager, who was standing at the window. Theong sat up straight and rubbed his forehead. When he heard this, his eyes widened. He jumped out of the bed quickly and grabbed his coat and key. Hansen doesn't want 𝐤𝐤 to leave alone, at least not in the present situation. Stella had previously informed him of what was going on. 𝐤𝐤 did not always return home at the end of the day, and a lot of times he met with accidents. There is no single body part that has not been fractured or bruised in the last 1 year. 𝐤𝐤 jerked his hand and limped out the door. He began driving impatiently. Breaking every signal, he kept pressing the horn to get his way. The sleeves rolled up, his hold on steering wheel tightened. His veins were excessively prominent as they could burst at any moment. His body jolted forward slightly as an effect of unexpected jerk, and his car stopped. He tried starting the engine again and again. He ran his fingers through his hair furiously while banging on the steering wheels. In desperation, he went down and repeatedly kicked his car door and tires. When he saw the sky turn purple, he groaned loudly in anger. His eyes began to well up with tears. The sadness and pain he felt for not seeing you today broke him down from inside. He closed his eyes for a while to endure that alcohol all over in his nerves and let himself gone in his dreamland. He began walking on the street, head dangling low, signing numerous times. He tried to walk properly but failed. He fell multiple times and got up again. The entire street was staring at him. They were whispering to each other weird things because of his weird behavior. The kids were mocking him, the elderly were making irritated expressions, some of them sympathetic while others were disparaging him. Anyone could do the same if they saw a drunk man in a public location who continued to drink from that alcohol bottle. Sadness and loneliness was clearly visible by his fragile body. His coat was slung over his shoulder. Keep gulping that alcohol down with his tears. He walked into the dark and lonely land, walking in the path which is not going to end, and he is willing to walk on it for the rest of his life in the hope of retaining your presence in the end. But what can break his heart when he doesn't find you there after a long journey waiting for you? His eyes focused straight as though he was following someone with shame for not treating her properly. That remorse was steadily eating him from inside. He never insulted her, but he never even complimented her. He is willing to beg for anything. He was dying to be pardoned by you. What is stopping him from doing this is your decision. Even if he wants you to be by his side, even if he is dying to feel your warmth beneath his arms, he respects your decision and chooses to watch you from afar rather than wrapping his arm around you. He stands very far, holding his tear-filled heart, giving false hope to his heart so that it would keep beating till he met you again. He is prepared to stand there for the rest of his life if you do not let him in. While wandering down that long alley that never seems to end, he did not even notice a swarm of men approaching him from behind, who was smoking and inhaling some in the middle of alley. They seemed to be waiting for someone who could help them in purchasing more items. One of them indicated the other man, who was close behind 𝐤𝐤, and within a second he pushed him hard on his back, causing him to fall over his stomach. He groaned because of sudden pain. Instead of attempting to stand, he began crawling towards his alcohol bottle, which fortunately did not break. He was approaching it as if his life depended on it. But to his shock, a man appeared from behind him and stamped his feet on the bottle, clearly intending to break it into small pieces and injure him. This shred of glasses flew all over in 360 degrees as it broke. A few of them flew towards 𝐤𝐤, getting on his brow on cheeks. Those pieces got stuck in his naked skin in a fraction of a second, and it began to bleed. Claiming that they had turned him, he was lying down, facing the sky, smiling sadly through tears, thinking about how these injuries could not be more painful than the pain he is feeling inside his heart. Everyone began stealing his possessions. One of them snatched his Gucci watch from his waist. Others were attempting to grab his wedding ring, which he was resisting, and he tightened his grip on it. He was not attempting to defend himself, lying down as if he was willingly allowing them to take his phone, wallet, and everything. His eyes widened slightly as something clicked in his mind. One of them saw it when he moved his right hand inside his pant pocket and tightly grabbed something in his fist. He shouted it out, making that man's eyes widen in rage. He was already drunk, and 𝐤𝐤's words made his blood boil with rage as he spoke with grinding his teeth. With that, everyone started kicking him on the stomach, chest, and face, when one of them was furiously attempting to open his fist. His nails were digging into 𝐤𝐤's fingers, and 𝐤𝐤 was not ready to open it at any cost. Everyone started firing kicks and punches all over his body, which seemed not to bother him at all. He was busy trying to save that little thing from them. He clutched it tightly in his fist as though his life depended on it, as if he will lose his. Before running away, he punched his jaw mercilessly, causing him to turn his face to the other side. While coughing up blood, he opened his fist gently and held that velvet box in front of him, while tears began to obscure his vision. This was the first gift he bought for you. It was a very special one because he also bought one pair for himself. He wanted to propose you with this. Saying that, he held that tightly in his fist and placed that hand over his chest, near his heart. The other one was lying on the floor as his eyes get closed slowly while he is mumbling.